Hey folks, welcome back. Hey, I wanted to do a quick video. Many of you guys know that we have discussed a number of, over the years, a number of preparatorial kind of ideas and things to do. We did a lot of ammo and weapons, and in the beginning, how to maintain and clean your ammo and different things to prepare. We've done some videos on precious metals, and we've done recently a couple of videos on scrapping for copper because copper is going to be the next silver. So what I've got here is a canning device that is very important, and I'm going to label this canning with the Nesco 9.5. And this is the digital canning machine, the Nesco. Right now it's off, and I'm going to give you a kind of quickie on this. Well, let me take that back. I'm not going to give you a quickie. I'm going to give you a detailed experience with my Nesco. we have this is for the last 2 days. This will be my third batch. I did with this machine. You can do 5 pints or 4 quarts, and I have been canning the 4 quarts. I have now about 12 quarts of canned carrots, cold canned. This is called cold canning, which is basically your jars are. I put my jars in a big pot on the stove, and I submerge them, and I bring the pot up to a light steaming. I don't bring the water to a boil. I just bring it to a steam. Then I turn it off, and I let the water come back down to room temperature for the jars. With this Nesco, you do not need to sterilize from probably a dozen different 4, 5, 6 year different canning YouTube channels with different machines. But this is pretty much a really good machine. And for a canning tard like myself, I am not a good canner, nor am I somebody that has ever professed to be a good canner. But the details about this is, I like to do the quarts because that is a higher volume of canning food. And what I wanted to do is just discuss some of the things. If you decide to can, which I think you would be benefit to you if you would. This Nesco, this one was purchased on eBay for about $10 less than what it is in Walmart. So I went and I got a package deal of this. Um, I got this is a tool that is used to stick in the jars before you seal them up. Make sure that this thing here, if you put it on that notch there at the top of the rim, and at the bottom there should be where your water is. So there's a 1 inch neck of air, an airspace between the water in your jar. And so I got this, and a filler tube that goes over the top of that. That's got a wide rim. And these are wide neck quarts, so you don't get everything all over the place. So let me get into some of the details. So this Nesco has two different pressure valves. The black is for 1,000 feet below, and the green is for 1,000 feet above altitude. So you need to know the altitude of your location. This spins right now. It's off, and I'm still within my 1 hour period of cooldown, so I can't open it yet. And I kind of wanted to do a process, and maybe we'll do a process, but I wanted to talk to you about some real serious, important kind of things with this machine, particularly. Being a new canner, I want to tell you, first and foremost, the biggest concern that I've had with this machine, and I'm done for the day, is the lids, the popping sound with the lids, and the water level on the jars. There's a name for it, and I was just listening to a video about it. There's a name for it when you get seepage or leakage from the fluid in your jar. Just an FYI, if you are 50% or lower, you can't have that jar of whatever it is you've canned as a long-term food. You got to use that right away. You didn't ruin the food, but it is not meant to be long-term storage. Excuse me for a minute. Getting over a cold. So I had a little leakage, spillage, or whatever you want to call it, and it's still safe because my lids are down. My the pressure is down on the lid, so it's sealed. Excuse me again. This was a concern for me because I noticed that when I took them out of the canner, some of these lids were still up. But as it went through its cool down phase, it sucked it in and it sealed and it was good. Now, when you cook with your Nesco, the routine is basically, and I made a mistake when I did this because I'm doing cold canning. I was putting boiling water into the jars before I sealed it. And that is the reason why I have some leakage on the fluid, because the temperature inside there and the cooking ratio was thrown off by the hot fluid in here. When you're cold canning, the jar should be room temperature, your lid's room temperature, and the 8 cups of water that you have to put in here before you close it and use it has to be room temperature as well. So when I put my 4 jars in there and I closed it, I hit high, and then I hit, for the carrots, it was 30 minutes for the quarts. The pints are different. I think they're 25. And you have to get a book that gives you the canning cooking requirements for the Nesco 9.5. So after I put it on high, I had to put in the time, which was 30 minutes for the for the quarts. And then this thing went through a cycle, and it seemed like it was going through that cycle like a racetrack forever. And then finally it came up E10. Now, let me back up real quick. When I closed it and I was waiting for the pressure buildup, I had to put this on the exhaust setting. I think there's 2 sides or exhaust. I had to have that on one of the exhaust settings. So when I closed it to start, I closed it, had that on the exhaust setting, closed it, went through my setup high, and then I put in the time. My cat is trying to get out. The time, which was 30 minutes, and then start. And then the racetrack started, and I waited like 20 minutes. And the 20 minutes went from the racetrack, all of a sudden it said E10. Evaporate, or E10. I forgot what the E, evaporate or something, E10. And then I had to wait for that countdown of 10 to go to 0, and it beeped. And when it beeps, then I take that and I put it to airtight. And then from the airtight, it went from the E10, and then it went to the E0, and then it beeps, and when it goes to E0, meaning the countdown from 10 to 0 is done, I'm sorry. Once I do it goes to 0, then I take and I put it on airtight, and then when I do the airtight knob, this thing that's on 0 then does the racetrack again. And then all of a sudden, the 30 minutes will show up, and then it'll count down to 30 minutes. When it's done, it'll beep, and you leave that alone. You don't touch it, you don't change it. But when it beeps, it'll go off, and then basically what you do is you just unplug the cord, and you're done. You leave it alone. You're done. So then what you have to do is you have to wait an hour for it to cool off. You don't touch anything, just let the pressure, as you hear now, evacuate. After an hour, you can then just spin this top and just crack the lid and put something in between so you allow a crack, but you're not supposed to be touching the jars. So what happens is after a few hours, then you can lift it all the way up and begin to take the jars and set them aside, and you're not supposed to touch them for up to 12 hours. Leave them alone. You don't want to bang them around. But that's just an update, folks. I want you to know that it is the word of the Lord, and it is a serious a period of time. There is a food wars coming, along with many other things that are coming. And it is imperative that you begin to start putting canned goods away, dry foods away, water filtration system, security. Have those things that you can cover your windows, protect your windows, motion detectors, alarms, movement detectors in your house, buzzards. If you can have low voltage lighting, if you can have water purification system in your house, those kinds of things. Those are important. We will do more. I have some updates on the dream that I had recently that I've been sharing updates on. I hope if you have any questions, you can email me at northofport@aol.com, and I promise you I'll get right back to you. Folks, God bless you. I hope this is helpful.